Hello, welcome back to Overland Outfitting. I'm Fred.
I'm Dave.
Folks, we're sitting here in Dave's ambulance and we're here for a long overdue update. And Dave has been fully engulfed here with the work he's been taking on in next steps in improving the ambulance. And as you can see here, we are sitting at a dinette. And we talked about this last time that we weren't sure what we were going to do with this space, and Dave has come up with some real good changes here, and I want to make sure we highlight that and show you some of the other changes Dave's made here. I'm going to switch around, Dave, and pull back frame here and let folks see what you've done and let you describe what happened here.
Okay. Well, we used to have a couch sitting here. It was a nice brand new rollover couch from RecPro, and it was a 5-foot long couch. We always knew we were going to not really need it for a bed, but it will actually, the couch would make a 5-foot long bed. So I really have always liked dinettes, and I wanted a table that was fixed. I wanted still the rollover capability of the couch. So I took the couch and I cut it in half. And that meant cutting the framework, cutting the foam, cutting the material, re-sewing it, using some of the hardware, and then making a completely new table and getting some hardware to mount the table. What's really nice about this is a 2-person dinette. It's just not something that's on the market right now. And RecPro makes a dinette, but it's a little wider. And we kind of looked at that and thought about that idea. But it comes out here about 36 inches wide or more. This one is 24. What's interesting about our build is we started out with a 5-foot rollover couch into a bed. Now we have a 6-foot single bed. It grew a foot here. So what's really nice about this is it's got some features that kind of popped up. We didn't even know it was going to happen, and it caught us by surprise, but it's a really, really neat build here.
So how does this convert into a bed? Can we make the conversion real quick here?
I'm glad you asked.
Right.
Well, what's nice about this, I'm going to put some stuff out and get some stuff over here. This little table just comes off like that. So it just hangs on there. I made this little stand or a little base for the table, so there's no post down here. And that just swings out of the way. So that swings like that. I'm going to set this aside. And then the couch, it just rolls right over here like that. And that just pushes down into this space here. So we're hitting on a bolt right here, but it will fill up this space and make a nice 6-foot bed here. This side actually is hinged, so we have a little access for some storage underneath there, and then this piece comes up right here. If we made a bed out of that, we would just put a post right here or a little thing to hold this piece up. That gives us a full 6-foot length here. I didn't design it, it's designed for myself. Probably won't use it as a bed, but it could be a spare bed if we needed it for us, one person. One of the things that's really quite unique about all of this is this. So this is the dinette. So if we put that table back up here, and instead of putting it in the middle, there's the middle, super simple. If we move this table down and up, right in here someplace, then when we roll this chair over, it makes the chair facing forward. Now, the reason that's really nice is for me, in the morning, I can sit here, I can put my shoes on, I can just relax. We have more ideas for the entertainment part of this, so we can go into it a little bit later. But this makes a nice couch, a single couch or a single seat for somebody.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of a unique thing.
And someone can still sit behind that?
Yeah, somebody could sit here. Now you could make this a little steeper and then move the table down a little bit. And then somebody could sit here and they could sit at the table here.
Mm-hmm.
So you still have access to the table even when the chair is in this position. What else is nice about this is we hinge this along here, and I'll have to show you with the door open a little bit there. So this tips up. Then we have access to the storage underneath. So
very nice. Nice little storage box.
Yeah, nice
you got
box.
Your dock to go in there. Wow. So you were able to take the rollover mechanism of the couch and essentially convert it, attach it back, and convert it, use it in a different manner.
Right.
Yep.
Makes it super nice. And then this was a bench here, and I just cut this end of the bench out and then trimmed it out. It already had the rubber top in it for your feet, so you have a place to put your feet under the table.
Mm-hmm.
And it just makes a super sweet little dinette. And
all right, well done. I'm curious, just because folks are curious. I'm curious. What do you have going on with the bolt that kept that from popping down real quick? Just so we clarify, did you have something you didn't trim yet?
Yes.
Or?
Yeah.
I see.
Right. It was on this little swing away leg. I made that out of Lexan plastic. I had some in. I hadn't planned it that way, but I was using scraps and pieces and stuff like that I had around the shop. One nice thing about it, it's not a solid piece. You don't even see it. It disappears. So from any angle, it looks like the table is just suspended out here. Mm-hmm. But it's really solid, and it's well supported out here.
Yeah, well done. Okay, and one of the other things that we were going to talk about, we promised folks we'd talk about, was the change to the kitchen here. Last time we were showing off, we had the stovetop in here, and you had been debating whether or not you were going to put an oven in here, and indeed you did do that. We kind of debated whether or not wanted to go with a convection oven, or why don't we tell folks what you did find here.
So we started off with a Dinette 2-burner, really nice. It was a drop-in, and so the counter went clear across here, and so it was a 2-burner right there. I like to bake. A lot of people like to bake. We can always have a pizza at night or cookies or whatever. So this is a Greystone oven, and so it was an easy swap. We took the cooktop off and out of here, then accessed the countertop a little bit. It's got a really nice little oven, and see, we have some tin foil in there. But it's got a nice light. It lights really easy, and so this goes on here when you have the oven light on, and then the top just kind of folds away like that.
Very nice.
It's a really
nice cast stovetop, and now you've got 3 burners instead of 2.
Right, 3 burners, a full oven, nice size oven, and then we took the space that was underneath the stove. That's this little place here. We put a door on here with a couple of magnets, and so we got pots and pans to go under the stove there.
Very good.
Gives us more storage.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. Another enhancement to the kitchen that I think is quite interesting and worked out quite nicely was the addition of a cutting board.
It's really cool. We had thought about places to put a cutting board. This is really nice. Under this cabinet is our water tank from access from outside. So we don't have any more drawers in here. I'll show you the drawer first. It's got full extension slides, and we have our one drawer here.
We got about 4 or 6 inches deep there?
Yeah, about 4 inches deep.
Okay.
And then we use some hardware from the ambulance. One of the pulls that's like these up here.
Okay.
So that all matches. And here's a cutting board. So we made our own slide for it. And so it extends the kitchen. And you can take this clear out if you want to. But it stays in place when you're going down the road. And it'll just hold itself up right there. So it added to the kitchen, gives us a nice cutting area. You can cut and build your meal right here. Put that out of the way like that.
Excellent.
We don't have to have any handles on it. It fits just tight enough that you give a little tug and it comes right out. So now we have not only this cooking area and covered. So if you're not cooking, you can always put this over here. Use this as additional counter space, additional space here where the stainless steel sink is. And then we also have this area right here, which is nice when you're bringing in your groceries. You can set them here. You can put them in the refrigerator. You can move things from your kitchen counter over to this area if you're cooking and serving outdoors. So it just makes it all a really nice living area, kitchen area with a bathroom now and our sleeping area above.
Well, that's fantastic. Dave, I'd like to switch places here in just a second. Over to my left, we have the bathroom, and we have a recent comment from Desert Dweller that I'd like to address and just look at some of the final steps that you've taken to finish up the bathroom here.
All right.
So let me switch around here real quick. Okay, so as I said, Desert Dweller made a comment, which we thank you for. And essentially, Dave, he or she was mentioning that composting toilets don't compost unless you carry it around for 6 months, which may or may not be accurate. And I thought, considering you have a fair amount of experience with composting toilets, I thought maybe you could address that real quick.
Absolutely. We'll show the composting toilet.
Okay.
This is the bathroom right here. And I like a door that's nice and clean and neat. We don't have a lot of space in here, so we try to make the most of what we have. Okay, this is a Nature's Head composting toilet. Yes, the questioner is absolutely correct. It's not going to make compost here. What it does is we separate the liquids from the solids. So there's a little tank here that collects the liquids, and the solids go into a little can here that has some ground coconut coir. I think in this one you can use peat moss. There are a variety of things, but you never add anything to it. You just use it, turn the crank a couple of times, and that's it. We've gotten months out of this without having to dump it. So it isn't like a cassette toilet or a holding tank style toilet. This one keeps everything separate. So when you're keeping things separate, you're not creating sewage. It's not a biohazard. That's the big thing here. Once you have the solids in that compartment, it's not a biohazard. So you can wait after about a month, or if 2 people are using it for a month or 2, you can take this out. Everything is dry. You just dump it into a garbage bag and you can throw it in the trash. Again, it is not a biohazard. So and eventually all that matter will biodegrade and become compost, but it won't do it in this little box here. One of the things that was really surprising for me is that it doesn't smell. There's no odor to it. All the methane, all the gases, everything goes into the dirt. And so it just smells like dirt. It doesn't smell like anything else. And I've been in small spaces like this with a conventional toilet, and those odors fill the room. They don't do it with a Nature's Head, with this type of toilet. So I'm really sold on it. And I just wish I'd had this 20 years ago when I was first starting out in the RV, using RVs. And so I'm a real proponent of this particular toilet.
Well, Dave, I really appreciate your input on that. I think hopefully that helps some others with their decision-making process in terms of what type of toilet they may want to consider for their builds going forward.
That's true.
And again, thanks to Desert Dweller for the comment. And let us know if you have any other questions, and we encourage others to make comments as well. All right, well, folks, thanks again for stopping by. As you can see, Dave's done a lot of great work here. And Dave, I commend you for what you've gotten done here in the last couple of months.
Thank you very much. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, it sure has. And folks, we are going to be at Overland Expo this next week. Dave and I both volunteered to help out with parking for the first day. And then we're going to be roaming the event and getting out, meeting people. We are staying there throughout the weekend up until Sunday morning. And we hope to run into you. We will also have my van there and be happy to show you some of the work that I've done to it to make it a little bit more livable for a short-term excursion. It's not necessarily an overland vehicle, but I think it'll work out well for this event. If you care to, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. We'd love to see your comments, and hope that we see you again soon.
And we hope that you can make the expo and we get to see you in person. That would be a lot of fun.
Sure would. Folks, have a great day. Thanks again.
Bye.